So my mind, just like you, I mean, we're not in the middle of basketball. We're not in terms of college and NBA. We're not in the middle of football, which are our two favorites. Soccer, Copa's now over. So there's just a lot of things going on that are getting people's attention. And for me, even though I am across the water, far away, the world knows about President Biden and receiving the news that he's got a positive COVID test.
Mm-hmm.
And COVID is never really gone. Out of sight, out of mind. It is still present with us. And so I started thinking about, COVID and what is happening. Now we know there was some good news, as in the COVID-19 cases were down, fewer infections, fewer hospitalizations earlier this year. But we also now know that a new virus strain called Flirt is out now, and it's spreading. And I've been hearing from people who, I've got COVID. And then in June last month, there was another variant known as LB.1.
Mm-hmm.
So it made me think about athletes. What is the perspective of athletes today in taking a vaccination? So I wanted to start with that, and then we're going to have a little quiz, okay?
Okay.
Just in general, just a short little quiz. But just your initial thoughts. Since we've had the scare, since we've had the reality, since we've had deaths, sicknesses, we've had two presidents trying to manage, our public health and what we should do or not do. But where do you think athletes are, college and pro, in terms of taking a vaccination today?
Oh wow, that's a good question.
That's really good.
I think it's mixed. I really do. I mean, obviously, I'm not with them. I don't have a pulse in terms of this, but it's probably mixed. I think it's the same as it's always been. I think some people who totally against taking the vaccine, and some people, encouraged by relatives or whatever to take it. So
right, and I think
it's mixed,
and now it's been such a time period has lapsed that there are people that say, "Well, I didn't get sick." Doing so, I don't need it.
Yeah,
so some people feel like, well, I don't need it now.
I was talking to somebody the other day, and they was talking about how people say, she's gonna be out a couple of days, or he's gonna be out a couple of days because he has COVID, and then it's like saying they got they have the flu.
Yeah, the flu.
And so it's been kind of minimized to the point where, and maybe because we think we know more, I'm assuming we do. And less people are being affected because of the vaccines and that kind of thing. So that's where I am on that with D.
I was just thinking about, Kyrie and his great playoff run with the Dallas Mavericks. And hearing more about Kyrie, we still think about him as the no vaccine guy.
Right.
And that marking, that branding that just kind of sticks with you. And also Djokovic with the tennis as well. Whether or not, that branding just sticks with you forever.
Well, it's interesting because at the height of the pandemic, they was like, no, we're not doing it. And Djokovic couldn't even play in certain, both of them, right? They couldn't even go to work.
That's right.
Because of that, which I thought was interesting too. But you're right about that. That's going to follow them around for a while.
Yeah. There have been some major athletes, major elite athletes, who felt that their performance was definitely related to, as in the decline in their performance after they contracted it. And definitely Dallas Cowboys, Ezekiel Elliott at the time, he had the worst year of his career in 2020. And so that one that steps out in terms of, how the virus can primarily affects the lungs, but also can harm the heart and brain. And then there was a pitcher for Boston Red Sox. He was slated to be the starting pitcher, Eduardo Rodriguez. He eventually improved, but that really affected him quite a bit. And then there was another player in soccer, Paulo Dybala. He tested positive for COVID 4 times in a 6-week span.
Wow.
And then he definitely had major fitness issues. So with that being said, I started thinking about, what about college students in general? What are the vaccination requirements if you are ready to go to college? This was as of entering last year. Haven't seen anything been updated. but there are 8 vaccinations that are required in general to go to college. So maybe you can put your heads together and see if you can name those vaccinations.
We both looked at each other like, really?
Your tests are always so hard. Chicken pox.
Yes.
Well, definitely one of measles.
Chicken pox is a
Is
two-dose,
measles one?
No, but chicken pox.
two-dose vaccination.
Right.
Chicken pox, as people know, is itchy and it's blister-inducing. Okay, so we got one. Chicken pox. What's the next?
I should know.
Yeah,
last
I know.
6 years,
Well, hold
4
up,
years, my daughter
yeah.
graduated. I don't know.
TB? No, TB. No, that's not. Measles? No. Chicken pox.
Yep, there we go. All right, that's
Measles?
Okay,
is
measles.
that one?
Yeah. Okay.
It's called MMR.
Yeah.
Measles.
Hey, Tal, you want
Do
to
you
jump
still
on
have
this
to have a
conversation?
tetanus shot?
Yeah,
Tetanus?
it's the standard.
Okay.
One in childhood immunization. Okay, so we got 2.
Yeah. What else we got? Chicken pox.
Measles.
Come on, co-host out on YouTube, help us out. Who else we got? What's the other one? It's chicken pox and what's the mumps? That's the same thing as chicken pox.
Yeah, that's MMR.
Yeah, that's the same thing.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think you said one, Pam.
Is it tetanus shot?
Yes, tetanus.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Tetanus, diphtheria, and pertussis. It's called Tdap. It's a standard childhood vaccination to protect against the 3 diseases: muscle stiffening lockjaw, tetanus;
Yeah.
breath constricting diphtheria; and that whooping cough, pertussis. So that's 3 of them. Okay.
Wow. That's a good one. And you said how many is it?
8.
Good gracious.
Oh my God.
Well, what hepatitis or something?
Hepatitis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's one.
Is that one?
No.
No.
Ooh.
When you were a kid, was there a polio shot or something?
How about the one that people usually associate with sexual relations, intercourse? People always say you got to make sure you have 3 letters.
HIV?
No.
HPV.
HPV.
Yeah, human papilloma.
I know.
All right, so college students up to age 26,
That's right.
they want to be sure they have the 2 to 3 recommended doses of cancer-preventing HPV.
Yeah. What about
without
polio?
it.
Is polio part of it?
I said
Hold
that.
on, let's talk about
I said
HPV.
that earlier.
Oh, I know. Yeah, okay, go ahead. Let's talk about HPV.
He tried to skip
without
that.
HPV, you can have genital lesions and certain types of cancers like cervical, right?
Right.
Or a cancer of the head and neck in some people. In fact, the CDC stated that HPV is behind 37,000 cancer cases in the United States each year.
Oh, wow.
That HPV is really important.
Yeah, that's important.
Now, I think, did you say polio?
I did.
Yes, absolutely. That's the standard childhood, and it's called IPV. Mm-hmm. It's been protecting people from the paralyzing effects of polio for decades. But the disease still exists. It's still out there. There was an unvaccinated person in New York who got polio in 2022. So you want to check on that one for sure.
What about malaria? I mean, we don't have to worry about malaria or anything like that, do we?
No, not here.
Okay.
In fact, doing the nature tour here in Costa Rica, they pointed out a tree, the sap, you take that, and that helps to prevent malaria.
Wow.
Costa Rica, the plant medicine here is amazing. All right, so let's go through them. Chicken pox.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
HPV.
Yep.
MMR, measles, mumps, and rubella.
Okay.
Meningitis.
Oh,
meningitis.
I should know that one.
I should know that one too.
Meningococcal serogroup. So if you're living in a group setting, like a dormitory, well, we don't say that anymore, resident hall,
right.
you might have to get this to protect against meningitis. It is very, very scary, dangerous. It's severe,
it's very contagious too.
I had to take pills for that.
Yeah, very
brain and spine. Now, Pam, you didn't remember that one?
I was like, I should have, because my my first cousin, who was my best friend at the time, died from the baseball to getting on the baseball team, and we had just been together. So you have to take these pills for like 7 to 10 days.
I had a cousin who has it, and he's living with it. But so I should have jumped that because
we missed
meningitis.
that one.
But I know when there's a breakout, people they shut everything down.
Oh yeah, that's so dangerous.
It's very dangerous.
It's known to break out on college campuses because it spreads in crowded spaces. Okay, and we got polio, and I think you mentioned this, the seasonal flu.
Did not. I thought about it. We did not. I thought about that. About it because that's a good one because you can get flu shots and things like that. Yeah, that's right.
And we've got the Tdap, tetanus, diphtheria, and pertussis, and then COVID, coronavirus 19. Now the CDC has different recommendations now depending on your risk factors for the disease, but those are the ones.
Wow.
So I think we all need to be mindful, and of course, if you're going abroad to study. You add in cholera, yellow fever, typhoid, and hepatitis A.
Cause I say hepatitis.
But it's not here.
Okay,
I guess you said it was going
that's
abroad.
true. Yeah, okay, there you go. Well, that's pretty good.
But that's it. We need to be mindful.
That's right.
Of that it is still out there. You know, I'm a big proponent of fist bumping now, and I know people look at me kind of, instead of shaking my hands, I just prefer. I can blame it on the athletics or whatever, but I just like to fist bump as opposed to interlocking any type of risky, getting in your palm of your hand. Wearing the mask, even if it's on the flights. And I know North Carolina's, I don't know, got I'll just say some crazy legislation talking about not wearing masks and all that going on.
Oh, yeah. They said, matter of fact, you get fined if you wear a mask.
Absolutely. They can stop you.
That's ridiculous. I mean, we're not even going to get into that conversation. That's stupid.
Exactly.
Right.
But be mindful of your health. We can have the finer things in life, the best boo, spouse, husband, wife, partner. But if you don't have your health, you don't have anything.
That's right.
So let's be mindful of that. Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
The other news, just to mention, is that there is a 14-year-old who just stepped onto the Major League Soccer field on Wednesday night. His name is Kavan Sullivan, and he's basically got a contract that he'll go to Manchester City when he gets 18. But there's a big chance, being taken here. When we think about what the mindset of a ninth grader is, lack of focus. Stress on the body. Remember Freddie Adu? He broke that record of being the youngest ever in pro soccer.
You took the words out of my mouth.
Yeah, but they said the MLS is ready for him. They've got the resources. They're going to help him be that superstar. But, just the media hype and the social media. So I hope this this boy is able to make it to, have a successful career.
Real quick, Distro, who's the most polarizing figure? Bronny James, Caitlin Clark, or Angel Reese?
Polarizing to me as a negative connotation, as opposed to just attention. So I would still say for all of the United States, not just white people, not just black people, not just young, not just old, but overall, I would say Angel Reese. Still, I think that college thing really, really just branded her in a certain way.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I said Angel Reese.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Very good. Yeah. All right. Hey. I am so jealous of you every time you call in from Costa Rica.
We are.
I just want you to know that, boy. I really